After 3 attempts, Wilbur and Orville Wright had finally done it. They had successfully created the airplane and changed the future of the world forever in terms of commercial and military potential aviation. Wilbur and Orville grew up mostly with their mother. Their father was usually gone because of work. They went to public schools their entire childhood. When the Wright brothers were just kids, their dad, Milton Wright, was a bishop in the Church of the United Brethren in Christ. He traveled often and most of the time gave Wilbur and Orville toys. In 1878, he brought a small model of a helicopter. This led them to love aeronautics and flying. Wilbur Wright was born on April 16, 1876, near Millville, Virginia, and Orville was born in 1871. As they grew older, they followed the works of the German aviator Otto Lilienthal. However, he died in a plane crash. After hearing this news, the brothers were determined to successfully develop a plane. In the winter of 1885 to 1886, Wilbur was injured while ice skating. His injury made it so he was no longer able to pursue his dream of going to Yale. Instead, he read all the books that he could get. This helped him as the editor of the brothers' print shop later on. The Wright brothers started out small by working in print and bicycle shops to fund their projects in the creation of the airplane. In 1892, they opened their own bike shop. In 1889, they made their own newspaper, the West Side News. Wilbur worked as the editor, whereas Orville worked as the publisher. Because they chose to pursue this instead of a degree, they had no choice but to accomplish their goals of creating a successful airplane. Before the Wright brothers could actually make a successful plane model, they first needed to see what the first plane could do. They made a small biplane kite in the summer of 1899 in Dayton. In the year 1900, the Wright brothers tested their first biplane model at Kitty Hawk. Its wings measured a total of 165 square feet, which is 15 square meters. This was a failure. The second time, they modified the wing size to 290 square feet, which is 26 square meters. They tested it out at Kill Devil Hills, 6.5 kilometers south of Kitty Hawk. The furthest distance the plane went was nearly 400 feet, which is 120 meters. This too had problems, as it was a failure. They used a wind tunnel to test the efficiency of 100 to 200 different wing designs. After gathering a copious amount of information, they tested another plane at Kill Devil Hills again. They completed 700 to 1,000 flights that went 622.5 feet, which is 189.75 meters, staying in the air for 26 seconds. The brothers worked alongside Charles Taylor and made a 4-cylinder internal combustion engine. At 10:35 on December 17, 1903, Orville made the first successful flight. Later on in the day, Wilbur flew the plane 852 feet, which is 259 meters, for 59 seconds. In February 1908, they sold a plane to the U.S. Army for $30,000, which met the Army's expectations of flying for 1 hour and had an average speed of 40 miles per hour, which is 65 kilometers per hour. After Wilbur and Orville's enormous success, they started the Wright Exhibition Company with aeronautical figureheads such as Roy Nabenschuh in high positions. The purpose of the company was to train future pilots and create revenue with which they could finance the creation of future airplanes. In 1909, Wilbur started taking charge and filing lawsuits against international opposition that tried to recreate airplanes. This quickly came to an end in 1917 when America filed a patent in the hopes of militarizing airplanes for public defense. In 1909, the Wright brothers traveled to Europe to show and market their planes. People were awestruck with this discovery and invention. They gave private rides to royals and governors. They became celebrities and rich businessmen. Wilbur had typhoid fever and passed away on May 30th, 1912, at his family home in Ohio. On January 30th, 1948, Orville died after suffering a second heart attack. He is buried at the Wright family plot in Dayton, Ohio. On March 2nd, 1927, Congress recognized that the Wright brothers had made a major achievement, so they made a monument. It is called the Wright Brothers National Memorial. The monument is 60 feet high and is made of granite. The monument is located at Kill Devil Hill. It honored them and their impact on the world because without them, the advancement of commercial and military potential of aviation wouldn't have been possible.